And some other details also now coming in as far as this entire investigation is concerned, as far as the arrests that have already been made and this ISIS model that has been busted in Karnataka. Images of all the accused now have been accessed first and exclusively here on CNN News 18. All the accused, we are understanding, are aged between 25 to 35 years. And those first images on your television screens, those are images of all the accused that are currently under investigation as far as this entire module is concerned. There are about 7 of them, and we're putting out all those visuals one by one on our television screens. Initial details also now suggesting all of these 7 accused are aged between 25 to 35 years. Harish continues to be with us. So Harish, we're also now putting out the first images of all the 7 accused. We're understanding their age anywhere between 25 to 35 years. Just give us more details as far as these accused are concerned. What is the kind of mapping that is already being done by the authorities to try and understand their involvement in past cases?
Well, if you look at all the 7 accused, perhaps you can categorize them into 2 categories. A1, that is T. Nazir and Junaid, they are the handlers. Nazir, imagine, he's been sitting in Bengaluru Central Prison from 2010 in the 2008 Bengaluru serial blast case, but he's managed to radicalize Junaid, and then together Junaid and Nazir have radicalized these 5 other youngsters who have now been arrested. In fact, Junaid gets booked in 4 other cases and gets back to jail apart from the 2017 murder case. And in 2021 is when he gets bail. He jumps that bail, and right now it's suspected that he's perhaps abroad. He's not in India, but sitting abroad, he's managed to arrange money. He's managed to radicalize these youngsters and has also managed to arrange ammunition for them. And the police saying that all these 5 who had a prior criminal background were doing petty jobs. Some of them were working as drivers, but all of them from the RT Nagar area in Bengaluru, and they were constantly gathering at one of the accused houses to hatch this criminal conspiracy. But so far, no details yet on if they had identified any location to carry out a terror attack. But the police saying that the intent was very clear, that they were constantly saying that they wanted to do something, and they were constantly in touch with Junaid, who had arranged funding via digital payment wallets multiple times to the tune of several lakh rupees.
So as Harish is rightly pointing out, we're putting out images of the 7 accused. Remember, out of them, Nazir was already in prison. 5 were arrested, which means 1 is still absconding. I want to understand how hopeful are authorities on the ground, Harish, in terms of leads that they have. Only 5 arrests that have been made. Difficult to believe that there were only 5 people involved. There has to be a larger nexus at play. So one, how confident are police authorities in cracking that nexus? Secondly, in terms of the recoveries that have been made, walkie-talkies, grenades, multiple mobile phones, has some sort of mapping been done to try and understand who these people were in touch with?
Well, absolutely. There has been a lot of interrogation since yesterday. Nazir too has been interrogated at the Bengaluru Central Prison. A lot more people are being questioned, including some of the relatives of these accused right now, to understand who these 5 were in touch with, who were they in constant touch with, who were they meeting physically in the area and outside, where have they traveled in the last few months or so. And although these are the kind of recoveries that have been made in terms of 7 pistols, 45 rounds of live ammunition, and walkie-talkies and other communication device, the police still not ruling out that there could be more that yet hasn't been seized. So a team is working on that as well, to figure out if there is more ammunition that these people had managed to grab and perhaps they are hiding it somewhere. So that is something that's being probed right now. And also they are seeing if, apart from the guns, did they actually manage to procure any explosives? Remember, in the earlier cases, in earlier ISIS modules and even other terror modules that we have seen, especially in Karnataka and southern India, we have seen that they've managed to get the knowledge of making an IED. That procured components for it from, like in Shumoga case, they had procured components from online, and they had managed to put together an IED. So they're also probing if this criminal conspiracy had reached that level or not. That's something that is currently under investigation.
Harish, now I want to talk to you as far as the political aspect is concerned. Of course, the former Chief Minister and the BJP government is now training guns at the Siddaramaiah government, saying that you've been been caught napping. What does this mean as far as the law and order situation is concerned? How confident is the current government of cracking this nexus, and how are they responding to the criticism?
Well, a lot of people here, especially within the Congress, pointing out that earlier terror modules, serious ones, have been reported in the last few years during BJP's regime. They're pointing towards what happened in Manglore, where a blast happened. They're also referring to the trial blast that happened in Shimoga, which was once again an ISIS module. And they're also saying a lot of it is also something that's happened over the last few months or years. So they are saying it would be wrong to blame a government. They're also pointing out that in this particular case, they managed to crack down on these terror accused much before they could actually ensure that their plan is implemented on ground.
Harish, we also got a reaction coming in from the Commissioner of Police a short while ago. What is the kind of assurance that the Commissioner of Police is giving to the general citizens? Because as of now, yes, a major terror attack has been averted, but do we have any clarity of what the target was?
Well, at least sources within Bengaluru police saying that there perhaps wasn't a clear target. They did not have a clear plan on what they wanted to do. They were in the process of acquiring ammunition and then deciding what they want to do. They are saying that there was no clear-cut idea on where they wanted to carry out a terror attack, whether they wanted to target public transport or whether they wanted to go for any high-profile event. That's something there was no clarity about. But the intent was very much there, and they were getting constant instructions from Junaid, who was sitting abroad, and perhaps they were waiting for instructions from Junaid on what kind of a terror act they need to carry out in Bengaluru. But all of them were very clear that they wanted to do something big in Bengaluru, is what the police are saying. Right now, two things being done. One is to understand the total conspiracy here.
Okay.
Second, the police saying that we will crack down on every person who was part of this conspiracy or was even remotely aware of it, and everyone who was in touch with these people. And the third one is also to ensure, the police are saying we'll also try and ensure that prisons across the state don't become a breeding ground or don't become a center of radicalization, because this is the second aspect. One is this case. Let's also not forget in the Manglore trial blast case as well, Sharik was radicalized while he was in jail by somebody who was accused in a blast in Hyderabad blast case. So that's been a worry. Police saying they'll crack down on that.
Okay, Harish, we'll have to leave that conversation there.